And we are live. It's
There we
Steve
go.
Moran and Doug Yates out here. How's it going out there, partner?
Going great. Another beautiful day. Man,
It
I
is.
was working on kids going to wheel stuff yesterday, as you know, and doing a lot of research out there. And you know, uh, I think that the tide is turning. Its tide is shifting a little bit. We've had a lot of FUD and fear and just craziness in the whole world. I mean, there's heads of states resigning and dying and like all craziness going on out there. And I think there's an adjustment going on, and I think it's going to be for the positive. And I think blockchain and everything we're doing is right in the middle of all this. So I had I don't know, I had an epiphany yesterday about 2 o'clock about, man, I think the future's bright. Like a few days ago, I might have thought, man, it's going to be tough next few years. But I think the future is very, very bright with what's happening in the world right now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, everybody, there's this big move and adoption to cryptos and NFTs. I mean, every time you pick up the newspaper, you look at anything, you're seeing these things about all these NFTs. And
Yeah.
I saw, who was it? Somebody, the New York Jets owner, I think, or New York Mets owner just put $50 million into an NFT platform.
Oh, yeah, really?
Yeah,
I didn't see that. Oh, awesome.
Yeah, just like in the last couple of days. It was like, you're just seeing it everywhere. It's everywhere you look. And
yeah,
I don't even know what you can even relate NFTs to. There's really never been anything quite like it in our.
No, the only thing you relate to is a music album or a book. In the publishing world, to where you make it and you get royalties off people using it.
Right.
That's big, but it was really limited to that world, the music world, the publishing world. Now you could wrap an NFT around any physical item, real estate to your tooth,
whatever, to events, the time to hanging out with people.
Let's say there's Michael Jackson's tooth out there, and they put an NFT around and they sell it, and you own the rights and the actual physical item. You control it. Of Michael Jackson's tooth. It's we can do anything, and then you could also do it around IP, which is intellectual property. You get ideas, patents, trademarks, like that thing you sent me yesterday. What's that company? Let me look it up. Give me a second. The cryptocurrency that in one day it surged to a market cap of $45 billion.
Right.
And that's basically allowing people to publish their works. Software developers or content creators, it's basically kind of what we're doing in the charitable work with Wheels and Kinscoin. But I mean, it went from almost nothing to $45 billion in worth in one day. I mean,
in one day.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, in one day. I mean, and that's the thing, is these things happen so much faster, and it's not like, I mean, if you wanted to go from nothing to $45 billion in the stock market, that doesn't happen very quickly. Okay. No. And it does without a lot of cost and a lot of other stuff that goes along and headaches that go along with it. I mean, you can really put together some stuff here and turn something into something just unbelievable in a very short amount of time.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. So, I promised yesterday, the look at the charts, how 2013 is very similar to the 2021, and it kind of is predictive of what's going to happen. And so I got the charts up. Let me show you guys that, because it's very interesting. This is real educational, and it could be life changing to some of you. I don't know, but this top chart up here is 2013, and this is like August or September is right about here. Okay. And this goes to the end of the year. Down here is 2021, and here's September right about here. So it kind of gives you the long term, and it kind of, one thing about the difference, one of the main differences between 2013 and 2021 is our lows are compressed because there's more people involved. So it's more dramatic back then because there was less people involved. But as soon as there's a price dump, a ton of people are jumping in. And so it keeps that low a little bit lower. So as we go on, we got these ups and downs here early on. And then if you kind of look, it just kind of follows the same kind of thing You see this right here, you see a little V, and then right here you see a little V, and then so we kind of lag behind 2013 about. Let me close these, and here's basically from July, August to the end of the year. Let me move this to right here. Okay, so here's 2013 up here. We see this V come down, and there's kind of the V's right here. Then we got these ups, ups, up. It's kind of going a little bit sideways, Got this little peak here. Got this little peak here. See this?
Mm-hmm.
So we're right here. This is where we are right here.
Wow.
And then, so, what's next? This. And this is what everybody's been predicting that's going to happen by the end of the year.
Right.
So, this, we're pretty much, for lack of a better, we're right there. So there may be a little dip, and then there should be a big jump, and then a little dip, and then a huge jump, and then a dip, jump, and then it'll peak out, in January like it did last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then there'll be some corrections because these little dips here are people that have been holding on for I read an article yesterday that there's about it's about 810 bitcoins, which is a lot of bitcoins, that miners are holding. They're not releasing it because they're waiting for this. So they will, as this pops up, there'll be people, what they've been doing is they've been borrowing against Bitcoin to pay their bills and holding on to the Bitcoin. So when it goes up, they'll sell some to, pay down that debt, and it'll happen again, and so on. So this is, for lack of, I don't know the future, but if you look at the past, they always say look at the past to see what's going to happen in the future. This is, for lack of a better example, this is kind of where we're heading between now and the end of the year. And we're right here. Here. So it's kind of exciting. I will grab this website and I'll put it in our chat here, so you could go look at it yourself.
Okay, let me close that up. Anything else on that? No,
that was it. I promised to show that. So
yeah, no, that's good. That's very interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Okay, so let's make a note. What's Bitcoin? What is Bitcoin's price today? Let's make a note of that.
It's 45, I think. Let me look. 45, 46. Yeah, 46.7 right now.
46.7. Okay.
So we in next week.
And it is September 14th.
Yeah. So next week we should. There's probably going to be one more dip, and then we should start crawling up, and then we should have a big jump within the next, I would say, 10 days, 12 days. This is my personal opinion, no advice. This is based on information that's in my head and what I'm coming to a conclusion. And am I biased towards Bitcoin? Of course I am. I hold a Bitcoin. Maybe I'm not a clear thinking. I don't think so, because numbers are numbers. But
it's all supply and demand. That's the one thing about Bitcoin, is there's that limited supply.
Yeah.
All the other ones have got all the other ones, Ethereum, it's got an unlimited supply.
Yeah.
Right?
I want to show you guys one more thing. I got this right here. Just got it in the mail. This is a mining unit that's going to mine a coin. And I'll go. We'll talk about this. Probably not this week, but probably next week. A little more how you get into this and how important this is, because when you start holding and accumulating certain alternate coins, you could mine them like that with those units, and that took me about 6 months to get. So because they're in high demand, but you could also, if you're really smart, you can put up nodes. So when a transaction happens on the blockchain, right? There has to be 6 independent nodes, computers, that verify that nobody messed with the ledger matches, and that's a valid transaction, right?
Right.
Because all the nodes in the whole world got a copy of this of the ledger. The blockchain is a ledger, digital ledger. Mm-hmm. And if they don't match, then somebody did something and that transaction gets thrown out.
Right.
So you could set up a node on your computer and be one of those, and you could earn that coin for validating that transaction, for running that transaction through your node. And
right.
you're competing with all the other nodes out there. But there's gonna be, and there is billions and billions and billions of transactions. There's enough for it to go around.
Oh, you so many transactions because some of them are just so small.
Yeah. And it's 6 is the minimum. So sometimes you got 25, 30 verifications on a transaction. So and everybody's earning a little piece of that, that fee in there. So my point for telling you guys all this is the marketplace, that this blockchain marketplace is, you could do whatever you want. You could use whatever qualifications that you have to be able to make money in this new world, and it's incredible. And if you don't know what to do, just stay tuned with us, because we're going to show you a great example with the wheels and what's going on there. We're kind of. I told Steve before we're on air, we're kind of whether you like Apple or not, but they have an incredible ecosystem that works very well with together. So people don't like that because they don't like the control, but the ease of use is off the charts. I mean,
right.
I know I use Apple. I open it up and it works, and I don't think about it. And it very rarely goes down unless I got bad hardware or something. Usually the hardware fails before the whole ecosystem fails. Right. And that's, that's good and bad. The cool thing is with what we're doing, we're going to be basically the Apple in the philanthropy world. We're going to have a complete ecosystem that you could turn any community into an economy, and Wheels is the first one, and we're building on top of that, which is it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Is every new community we add into this economy, it makes the economy worth more, and the people that are within that economy are going to benefit from that, and so on and so on and so on. And so it's blowing our minds, right?
It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, it's amazing whatever the mind of man can conceive, it can achieve. And we look back here a couple months ago where we kind of started on this whole project, and we look at kind of where we were then and what we were looking at, and how it all looked. And now it's come out, and we are really going to become a real player in this industry. We are really going to become a real player in this industry, and I think that that's gonna be a lot of fun. I mean, having a place where everybody can come in and literally turn a community into economy. There's so many people out there have really good communities. Everybody gets along and it's all this and it's all that. But how can you turn that into an economy, a thriving economy where everybody can benefit from that? And we're going to have a turnkey system. We're going to have the exchange. So when people plug into us, they'll be able to we'll create their own coin. Okay. So they'll have their own coin. We'll have their own exchange. They'll be able to have a buy now button right on their own website.
Yeah.
Okay? How cool is that? That is one of the missing links in this whole industry. Is it's hard to buy some of these coins.
Yep.
So we're going to be able to put communities into business fast. Okay. And if they can find your website, they can buy it. And
listen, if your community has never, or whatever community we're plugging into this has never even touched the cryptocurrency world, and they got PayPal or Cash App or Venmo, then that's all they need, because we're going to interface with that. You buy the an Ethereum or Bitcoin, and you convert it into whatever token that of that new community, and boom, it's all going to be one button, one push. It's all going to take. And then we have the 3 pillars that we're building this Wheels coin on, and it's just to give a little history. It was written by this Canadian friend of mine. Helped him. I was on the advisory board of launching the Nikola Tesla token up in Canada, and he came up with these 3 pillars that basically give viability to any token, and that's community, And you know what that is? That's a bunch of
Right.
people. Liquidity, which means you're able to convert it to usable currencies or whatever you want to do. And then there's technology, which means ease of use, that button that Steve was just talking about. So we have all three of those, and anything we do will build on those three legs. And the stronger those legs, the stronger the coin. And if you only have two of them, your coin's probably going to fail. Your token's probably going to fail. You got to have those three things. And it doesn't.
You got the NFT exchange, so you can monetize past works, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's a huge part of that's on the liquidity side and the technology side. And it actually builds your community. So the NFT feeds those three legs. And that, I mean, that alone is an incredible idea. So not only we have that, we have the exchange, which is liquidity. So if you and the exchange is going to feed back its profits into the holders of Wheels, right? So anybody that holds the Wheels coin is going to get profit sharing, for lack of a better term, into the exchange and into the NFT exchange. And then any new community that comes in, and we're going to help them do that, and in return we get the fee for helping them do that is getting some of their coin, and that is going to be fed back into the base coin, which is Wheels coin, and it feed out the exchange fees are paid in Wheels coin, just like Binance with the BNB token, and they're the number one exchange. The volume is in billions, the revenue is in billions, so we're not talking chump change here.
No,
and we're not inventing anything new, but we're elegantly putting stuff together in an elegant fashion that's never been done before.
Right. I mean, there's no need to be. I mean, your Coinbases of the world. I mean, I saw Coinbase is trying to go out and get $150 million and sell some debt or something along those lines, right?
Yeah.
And there's not a real need for those kinds of places. That's, right now it's just a convenience place. But if you truly have a real community, okay, people don't need to go to Robinhood or Coinbase or wherever to go try and buy it. They'll be able to go right to your website, okay, and get your coin. And, interesting, a couple of weeks ago when Robinhood's earnings came out and their stock price dipped, it was reported that, 40% of their revenue came from Dogecoin. Okay, 40% of Robinhood's revenue came from one coin. That doesn't mean that's 40% of Dogecoin's transactions, because that's just one exchange. If Dogecoin would have done the same thing that we're doing, and if they had their own exchange, they would have made billions and billions of dollars just off the fees of all the transactions of the Dogecoin that's been going on.
Yep. And so here's another thing along the same lines. The Bitcoin blockchains is what's called decentralized, which means, and I led the show with talking about nodes, right? All these different nodes have the same copy, and they all check with each other and keep it honest and keep it running the right way. Which there's no central point of failure. So let's say some country that you have nodes of Bitcoin in, it just goes crazy, and they have a war, and they're trying to. They're not going to mess up the thing. They'll just go away. And then it happened with China. When China basically outlawed Bitcoin mining, and was there a glitch in the Bitcoin blockchain? No. Within minutes, the other miners in the other parts of the world were taking up the slack, and China lost out. They lost trillions of dollars that day they made that decision, and then all the miners moved out to to other areas, and then they're starting to take back a little bit of that of what was taken away. But my point is, when you have a decentralized system like this, the what you give up is the ease of use, because there's a lot of hoops you got to jump through. And we've elegantly solved that process, so you can have the power of decentralization and the freedom of decentralization and the security of decentralization, but still be able to do everything in one place. But it's not a control place. It's just it's elegant integration, basically.
Yeah, it'll be a good user interface that'll allow you to be able to, do the things that you want to do. Take past projects and turn them into NFTs. We've got an NFT exchange right there for you to get them on. It's going to be this is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be really a lot of fun helping transform these communities out there into economies. And
yeah,
like one of the things we're doing with our coin, with the Ken's coin, is we've got 10% of the entire coin set aside for the people that want to help us go out and make this all happen. Okay? The people that are out there that want to go out and find other communities that they can bring on board, and find other people that want to be involved with what we're doing and part of our project, and help us identify families with special needs, because 80% of the revenue that comes in from the initial sale of Ken's coin is going to be directly put out into the communities to help families that have children with special needs. So
we haven't even
find those families and make sure that we find the right kind of people that aren't trying to take us down the road. All kinds of things. So we've got 10% of the coin set aside there. We have 7% of it set aside for the marketing to, for people that the influencers and to get in front of things. We truly are going to use this coin. We're not taking all this coin. We're, what 1% of it? It's like, we are truly doing this to, everybody out here is going to be able to thrive in this community and really prosper from the community. And I think that, it's good to build a community that has a lot of, commonality and can do a lot of good things, but, put the power of having a whole bunch of money behind it, and you can really start to accomplish some things,
Yeah. And the beauty of the blockchain is we're able to do this. Could we do this outside of blockchain? Kinda. Yeah. But everybody would wonder what's going on behind the scenes, because that's the whole thing in a charity.
Is like, if you can imagine it, you can literally kind of make it happen.
Yeah.
On the blockchain.
Like when you give to a charity, you always I'm giving $100 to charity. I wonder how much is actually going to that kid in Africa, or feeding, whatever you're giving for. With the blockchain, it's completely visible. I mean, if you can go out there and check it out and make sure it happens. And that's beautiful, because then we don't have to talk about that. We just talk about the cool implementations and what we're accomplishing, and everybody's winning. The people that are helping these people, they get something as a token of appreciation, and that token of appreciation could be worth a lot of money in the future, or even in the present. So they win. The golden rule, love your neighbor yourself, and give, and it will return to you 100-fold. All that kind of stuff. We're just using those natural laws. It's being implemented by blockchain that hasn't. The cool part is the smart contract is rewritten, but you can see the smart contract, so there's no hidden things in there. Is be written to do this, and we're not involved in it. It does it. Just like Bitcoin is programmed to go up every year, nobody's making it do that. It's programmed to do that, and it does it. It covers it more than covers what's happening with inflation. It's an offset for that. That's why it's a great holder of wealth. And the same thing's going to happen with the Wheels, Ken's coin Wheels blockchain, and this turning communities in transforming communities into economies. That whole process is built into the blockchain and will be programmed. It happens without any human trying to manipulate or take from it.
Yeah, something. One of the other things is that we're getting to learn from all the other things that haven't been working well out there, right? It hasn't been easy to buy crypto, so we're going to fix that. Lost my train of thought here. Where was I going with that?
Well, the ease of use is a huge part. I mean, that alone is going to transform the philanthropy industry. Is making it easy to onboard people into your community.
Yeah, but one of the other problems was when you create a coin, right? A lot of times you go out to the marketplace and you've got these bots you have to deal with. Okay, so it's like, how do you successfully even do this? And I've found a lot of frustration in going out and trying to get involved in some of these right at the initial launch process, right? And nothing ever really happens the way you think it could happen. And, by using this process that we're doing, and by stumbling across that, what we're going to be able to do with the communities is the communities are going to be able to, when they create a coin for these charities or nonprofits or whatever, for the first 30 days or so, they'll just be doing a private sale to their donors, the people that help them get where they are today. Okay. This is a way where we can go out and can really help those people that really helped us get there. Okay. And give them the opportunity to get in first before everybody else gets to get in. Right. And it's a way to really treat those people the right way, because if we didn't do it the way we're going to do it, and nobody else could do it this way, because if you're just another exchange, it wouldn't work. Okay. So we figured out how to do this to where it gets done the way that you want it to get done, not the way that, oh God, you have to deal with it this way. Right. And somebody comes out and buys $250,000 worth of your stuff and you don't even know who they are. And you're like, you don't know what their motives are, where they're really going. I'd much rather have the initial people that are getting involved in our projects that are, I would much rather them be the people that have already been supporting those projects for years and years and years and believe in that. They should get the first opportunity, but that's not the way it really works in the real world. But because we're doing it the way that we're doing it, we're going to be able to facilitate it that way, which is going to be, nope. It's not being done anywhere else. Can't be done any other way right now that I know.
No, and what you pointed out there, those bots, that's not a trivial thing. It's actually not. It's a huge, that's why a lot of these new tokens are being, manipulated by this process. And, you brought it up early and said, hey, we got to solve it. And, and this is, without making it available to them, that's the way to solve it. Like it's not open to that. And then we have a stair-step process to bring it into
a private sale to your community.
Yeah,
and get your community behind it. Then bring it out to the rest of the world. Then it's like, hey, now let those other guys go out and let you make some money with it. I mean, this has been something that really bothered me. At the beginning is trying to do this and thinking that you're going to be able to do this and telling people you're able to do this and. You can't do it. You can't do it that way. And it's been a real frustration for me. And I think that, I learned after just doing enough research and seeing what Ethereum did, Ethereum did that. They basically, and again, you can't do this if you don't have your own exchange.
Right.
You can't do that if you don't have your own exchange. So you got to have all the pieces of the puzzle. But this was one of the real frustrations for me was, how do you make this fair? Right. How it's not fair. Right. And it's, the rich get richer. It is when you do it the way we've been following it up till now, that's exactly what's been happening. And it's been really hard for people to get in on the so-called ground floor of a really great opportunity. And I think we're going to be able to help create that in mass now and really put together a system that actually works and helps people do it. And then we turn it on to the rest of the world because we don't have to do it. We don't have to do it that way.
Yep. Yeah, one beautiful thing about this blockchain era is, you get tired of working for dollars that are worth less when you got them than when you earned them and then when you got them,
right?
Because of inflation. Just for lack of just keeping it simple, the $1 I earned in January, was able to buy a third of a gallon of gas. And now it's buying a fifth a gallon of gas in California.
Yeah.
So my same dollar, I worked all my hours to earn it back then, and I'm buying less with it now. And so that's what the blockchain is really. We're in the United States, affected most of the civilized world. It's a debt-based system, and it only works for so long. And you got to have some event to reset the debt. And, wars have been used for that and other stuff have been, if you look at history, it's been used for that. It doesn't work for the long term, and it keeps us, the entrepreneurs, the real workers, the small business people, it really keeps us in a slave type of atmosphere. This changes all that. And I believe the world is changing to more of a asset people based. What's the real asset of the United States? It's our labor. It's Steve's labor, Doug's labor, plus your labor and Jim's labor and Susie's labor and all that stuff. That's the real worth of the GDP of the United States. It's us, right. and we're not trained that. In school doesn't school basically says go work for somebody else and you do what they say and work hard. In that, it's our labor that's making this stuff. And we're actually in control. We might not think we are, but we are.
Right.
And the blockchain in this new era is going to help that. And I believe that the financial systems across the world are going to be changing to an asset backed system, not a debt backed system. And there's going to be some redistribution from extremely wealthy to all of us. And this is a huge part of that. In participating in the blockchain. That's why, what you guys might think, why are you guys having this well, you're always touting the blockchain and Bitcoin, and are you, what are you getting out of it? We're promoting something that we think can change the world and help everybody, including ourselves. So there's nothing tangible we're getting out of this, except for the more people that know about this, the more you're going to benefit from it. If you're tired of being poor, for lack of a better term, and not being able to feed yourself, especially California, geez, the prices are off the charts. I feel sorry for kids that grew up in California because how are they going to buy a house? I mean, in my area, a shack is $1 million. It's the ugliest $1 million house in the whole world. Yeah. But you can't beat the area, so it's still a very desirable area. My point is this what's happening now is an incredible opportunity. And
it's an incredible opportunity. And the thing is people aren't that you need to learn it somewhere. We all need to learn it somewhere.
Yeah.
That's, Doug and I continue to learn every day, about the different things that can be done here, the different things that we can do. You need to just check your ego at the door and open your eyes to the possibility as to what's possible out here with the blockchain.
Yeah.
Because, you're not most of you are probably not in school anymore. And where are you learning things from? And what are where are you going with this? I'm telling you, these, I think that we have finally figured out a system here that can really make this system work. Okay. I think and make it as simple as possible. And it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah. And then, really first of all, I got this shirt on. See, it says Locker Nuts.
Yep.
This is my buddy. He gave me this shirt, so I promised I'd say, hey, I'm going to shout out. He has a YouTube channel. He goes and buys storage lockers that people abandon and films it and stuff. And he's a great guy. So because he gave me the shirt, I said, hey, I'll tell people about it. He has a few 100,000 followers, so he's up there. So I want to thank him for that. So thank you, Locker Nuts. Go check him out on YouTube. Secondly, if you get anything out of what we're talking about here, please tell your friends, share the link, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And, we're here every day. And so if you miss a couple of days, that's fine. Just pop right back in and we're sharing as we learn. And as we're progressing, we're sharing it with you guys. We're completely, we're trying to be on blockchain ourselves and being completely transparent about what's happening here. And it's exciting, and we want, our goal is to get as many people this knowledge that what we're doing. That's why we started this test case that turned into a thing, that's turned into a whole platform ecosystem in itself. We called KidCoin and with the Wheels token, in just start this as that process of us developing in it. We're sharing everything we've learned with you, so you can do the exact same thing and maybe do it better. Who knows? Right.
Yeah. And the opportunities, like I said, you'll see as we go on and see kind of things that we're doing with this, and then I'm sure a lot of us start to come together. If you're not quite getting it all right now, but that's about all we got time for today. We will be back again tomorrow, same time, same channel, and
same bat time, same bat channel.
Make it a good day, guys. Thanks for your time. We really appreciate it. And if you like the show, please share it with others and